Hey everybody, how's everybody doing out there? Yeah, it's Rick Koppel coming at you from Donnelly Screw Guy from Denver, Colorado. Get that middle mixed up today for some reason, but at any rate, here I am. And today we're going to look at OpenSUSE. Before you get started on that, hey, hey Steve, how you doing? Don't show me up and start early. Can't help it, I'm eager to eager beaver. Yeah. Because today we got a lot of stuff going on. We also have in the house Larry and Ben, I think, so far. Nate said he would show up a little later, so we'll see when he shows up, but he wants to join. Go join me for showing the thing. Whoops, I just revealed I got Steve's shirt on. Whoop. Audio be good. That's good. That's good to know. And so we're ready to roll. And today we're going to do that, but first, before we start all that stuff up, yeah. Yeah, so we got as you may have known, as I've mentioned before last week or something, that I was going to be on my wedding anniversary for the last few days. I got back last night, so to speak, and I want to show a little bit of what I got for my wedding anniversary. I got one mug, Rocky Mountain National Park mug. Pretty cool, isn't it? Nice color. I like blue, obviously. Blue. And I've also got this Estes Park. We went to Estes Park around National Park. Did it without the glare on it. Anyway, that's Estes Park, Colorado. That's where we went. We stayed in the Rocky McGregor Mountain Lodge over there. And we also got this nice little. I don't know if you can read it there, but it's got it's a the whiskey place over in Estes Park called Elkins Colorado Whiskey. Estes Park says on it. We got that. And last but not least, as far as the mugs go and stuff like that, also got this cheap wine glass. Rocky Mountain National Park, but it says on the other side, it says I don't always drink when I'm camping. Oh wait, yes I do. So wait, yes I do meme thing. Crystal. And then Ben says he likes purple and black. He also digs blue and green. And he's gonna cry for some reason. I got a couple of t-shirts, additional t-shirts. So I got this one, Papa Bear t-shirt. It's Park, Colorado. Yeah, we have the same. Me and my wife, we bought some mugs for one of our anniversaries a while back. But it was basically a uh, Mama Bear and Papa Bear mugs. So now we're expanding on the issue. Apparently, bought some more mugs like that. But we got this t-shirt that says Papa Bear on it. I also got this t-shirt with a little more long sleeve t-shirt that says "Keep calm, you're just high." Rocky Mountain National Park, elevation 12,183 feet. I've gotten close to that on our little mountain climbing hike we did. So who knows? So that's my little stash from my anniversary, 40th anniversary, in case you're wondering. 40 years, yep. So we did that. And let's see. What else we got? Oh, news. Oh, before I forget, I want to make sure you're aware that this next 2 Wednesdays I won't be doing a show because I'll be traveling in the middle of it. I'm leaving on Wednesday to go to San Antonio to visit my son and to Houston to visit my dad. Then I'm coming back next Wednesday. So it's the best time to schedule airplane rides are cheapest at that time. And yeah, so no shows for the next 2 weeks. Then I'll be back. Hopefully, assuming I don't have a some kind of plane wreck or something like that. You never know. But anyway, we'll not think about that too much. So we got that all cooking. So all right. So why don't we do this? OpenSUSE install. Y'all ready? Yeah, 4 years coming, 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Have a safe trip. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Steve says have a safe trip. And yeah, so that's good. So we'll get on to OpenSUSE and start installing the sucker, won't we? Why don't we? All right. First, I'm going to show you the website that we developed, that we took it from. It's just OpenSUSE.org. It's a website, pretty easy to remember, and it's got this tumbleweed and leap. Leap is what's been called it's just the more like the stable release, or the static release is known in the OpenSUSE land, at least Gecko does. Static release. And Tumbleweed has the newest and latest Linux package, a rolling release, fast integrated, stabilized, tested, release. So Tumbleweed and Leap. Naturally down in Tumbleweed, because that's what I prefer as far as that goes. It's kind of semi. I mean, you have your Blanton, Arch Linux, raw footage, and minimal tested stuff before they let it out, that kind of thing. They do test it some, I think, but not extensively. Not like this does, and Solus does, and some of those other ones do rolling releases too. So we have a fast integrated, stabilized, tested. So they test it out, but it's rolling release. You never have to re-update it, or you don't have to do a massive server update, or a massive update to your desktop at some point. It's just updates as it goes type thing. As long as you do your updates. If you don't do your updates, you're gonna have an old system at some point. Yeah. So open sesame seeds. uh yeah, open sesame, Steve, open sesame. Yeah, let's open this puppy up and see what she got in it. OpenSUSE. So I downloaded this, it installed Tumbleweed. So it doesn't actually install at this point, but if you want to install it, it's actually download section. I don't know why I say install, but that's what they say. But some people think they're going to install Tumbleweed right out of the box or something. Well, that's weird. Oh, there it goes. Boom. Now you got your overview, and you go to downloads, and you gives you overviews of it, and then it takes you over to this spot here when you did your download button. Is you have your offline images and your network image on your 64, and this one most people want. You have a 32-bit computer, you can still get that over here. If you have an ARM like I do on this computer over here, I may download and install it on there at some point, but anyway, you got an ARM here. UEFI ARM. And a PowerPC server is not big Indian. PC64ILE or something like that. I'm not really sure what that does, but I said IBM Z and Linux 1 offline image there. Now I chose offline image because I didn't want to wait and waste y'all's time downloading, because the network image, it works, but it takes longer to download all the packages. You don't have to update it at the end of it. So I downloaded this one, fresh image of it, just shortly before we went on air, I guess. The latest and greatest image they have on there, latest snapshot. And when you have a rolling release, it takes snapshots of it, so you don't have to update it as much when you install it. Network image, they can just leave that there forever. 206 megabytes download is pretty fast, but it takes a while to download on. So I've downloaded that on the other image. And that's what we got. Hit that download button and it starts loading it in. Click that, and then see this media, raw CD image. Hit save, and away it goes, and uninstall, and there it is right there. Yeah, so we're cancel because I've already downloaded it, so I don't need to do that again. And we'll get on with the deal. Okay. Now we'll go to number. We'll do it over here this way then. Alright, so now we're here at OpenSUSE. I've given it 4 gigs of memory on it. And I've also given it 40 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah, so ready to roll. I'll start it up and see what we got. Now, that's the first time I have installed OpenSUSE some way before on hardware as well as a virtual machine. This I haven't done it today lately, so this is the first time installing it. This is the first time I had to look at it. So we run into some issues with the drivers, that kind of thing. Oops. Wrong thing. Oh wow, I forgot to connect. Hold on. Forgot to connect up the ISO before I started this thing, so whoopsie daisy. Clicking, nothing's happening. Okay, maybe I need to restart this virtual machine altogether, huh? Seems like it's having some issues. Storage. I'm trying to choose a virtual. Trying to choose virtual disk, it's not letting me for some reason. Optional drive. I never clicked this box when checked. The virtual disk will not be removed when the system ejects it. Really? Right? Oh, I see. Okay. No comments out there yet, so I'll figure out what to do with this thing. Yeah. Yeah, to start over with creating the, I thought Ben that I would get this done easier saved. To save for. I'm gonna start over on this. It's not too hard to start over. Or remove. It's something that caused it not to be able to do that. Not sure what it did. Maybe we'll get new. And Zeus. And it's all set. For gigs of memory. And we'll create the virtual hard disk. Really is a let's see. Okay. Now let's go back and see if we can connect storage up with it. Yay. Go to this file. We can get OpenSUSE here. Did some word apparently when it did that. Here it is. That one right there. Open. And away we go. Well, that's one part done. So I spelled OpenSUSE. Suswoo. Suswoo. Oh well. It'll be different. Now I need to start it apparently. Always like a little gecko thing they have there. OpenSUSE gecko. Boot from a hard disk, installation, upgrade more. Now we're going to boot from a hard disk. Reinstall. And so we're there. The first part of this is it does a lot of stuff. You don't have to do anything. You just sit there and watch it go. Alright, we'll see you in a bit, Steve. Uploading basic drivers. First thing. And it's hardware detection, a lot of good stuff. I didn't share my screen, did I? Nope. Hold on. Not in there. Okay. We got that. Initialize the network configuration. Should see it as a virtual machine. And it'll just set it as a I have to hit next on it, I guess. Nope, it don't. Have to wait. You just have to wait through this part till it's done doing everything now. Now you need to do something. Yeah, it says welcome installation. It's welcome screen, which is a license agreement they have here. So we're just saying yes. We know. Clicking next. You have English and English keyboard up there, which you need your keyboard check. That's where you said check that off too, is a welcome screen. Online partner, enable online partner installation users. All software does not bid on the installation media anymore. Additionally, those per repository might update software package. Activate online repositories now? Sure, why not? And there you go. Figuring out the repositories. Oh yeah, here's where you get to do, if you want to enable your sources repositories as well as your debug repositories, you can check those off there or hit next. Otherwise, just leave them there. Your non-OSS, your OSS, and your main update repository. Next. Yeah, so far it's been pretty simple going through this part. I know when you get to the partitioning and stuff, it's a little more interesting, I guess you could say. Interesting, yes. And repositories, the repository, initializing installation. And I'm going to pause here for a moment because I need to go back over here and check, make sure everything's kosher. Yeah, everything's good over there. And we're going to share screen. That way I'll see if anybody wants to pop in, I'll be able to see it. my screen here. So then we go to 4. And we're back here. And we continue on. And now this is what a desktop being. It's like AD Plasma desktop, GNOME desktop, XFC desktop, generic desktop, which I don't know what that installs. Probably I think it installs a window manager of some sort. Sort. And you can install server, which is all server stuff. Transactional server. You can also install that like server role, but uses a read-only root file system for atomic auto without interfering with the running system. Automatic updates of the system. So yeah. So it's kind of like a containerized system, I guess, or something like that. Read-only root file system for servers. So anyway, I'll probably just choose XFC, unless y'all think I should just choose GNOME to make it weird for me. I'll leave this up to y'all guys. What do y'all want? You want to look at KD, GNOME, or XFC? One of those three. I'll wait and see if somebody gives me a hint as what they want to use. Yeah, so yeah, if you don't choose it, of course I'll choose it for you at some point, probably XFC, because that's what I use a lot and I'm familiar with it. If you want to watch me fumble around with GNOME, I can install that one too. 5 choices OpenSUSE gives you here. Yeah. ISWM, I thought it was one of the, I knew there's some, I think I don't know if I've ever used ISWM that much. I think I've messed with it on one of the installations I had, but I don't remember. So, Larry votes for Plasma. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Plasma it is, I guess. And somebody stops me. I like Plasma too. I'm familiar with Plasma. Next. Alright. Initially, I propose the default guided setup settings. It's hard to say. Guided setup settings. Changes to partition. Create GPT on device SDA. Create partition DAVA. Now, this is all through guided setup. It does automatically. So you can choose what it's got here. It tells you what it's going to do to the system. What it's going to do to your disk. If you want to go via guided setup, like you want something a little different or something like that, you can go ahead and install it there. Q8 says go with Plasma. Woohoo! So anyway, I install the boot, and anyway, it tells you what it's going to do on their partitioning. So it's easy if you just want to take what it does and say next and go on. You don't have to know any partitioning at all. Excuse me. But if you need some special partitioning, you always go down here to Expert Partitioner. Think you're an expert at it. Hey. Then you can do a expert partition. So yeah, but we'll just take what we got since that's what we got. Unless you just want to see the expert partition, but we'll go on probably just for the next. So alrighty, synchronizing with NTP server, and now it says where the heck am I? And I'm not in New York, that's for sure. Although apparently there's Mountain Denver. So you select that and you're there. And do next. Other settings. Yeah, hardware clock set to UTC. Good. And your other settings. What other settings I wonder? Manually, you can set manual time or synchronize as we have it with the NTP server. Okay. And we'll do next. Your traditional username, all that kind of stuff. Rick couple. Rick. Password. Firm password. Jesus, yeah, I won't do that. We won't do automatic login though. So, skip user creation. Yeah, you can skip the whole user creation if you want to. I guess in that case, it just probably installs the user root. You can get on root and do whatever you want. And we'll set up users later. So, password's too simple. It's based on dictionary word. Yeah, so DT would be problematic on that, but yeah, you want a strong, complicated password for most things, but this is, I'm going to delete this. Nobody's really going to bust in on me and figure out my password that fast, I don't think. Well, I need to really use this. Yes. So you can use this easy password on there just by doing that. And anyway, it gives you installation settings. This is what it's going to do. It's going to do bootloader grub. It's going to write to SDA, boot code, write to member MBR, device SDA. Do not write it into partition with boot dev S2 DA2. Apparently it's going to create a SDA1, which is probably a boot partition. So it's not going to write in boot into SDA2 or something like that. Anyway, and it's going to do products of Tumbleweed, and it says all the stuff it's going to do, what it's going to install, that kind of thing. So we'll kick on. We'll say install the sucker, and it starts installing installation. We'll see if this works once it's done. If I did it right, it should work. Alrighty. Storing packages. Yeah, if I remember right, OpenSUSE takes a little longer to install than some of the others. Just because, but probably not as bad on, if you use your net installer, of course it's going to take a while, but if it's not, then you're going to have more issues, I guess. That kind of thing. Yeah. So, what we got going on in the community lately? I think the Linux Saloon inmate is going to have a what? Yeah, it's pretty easy to install so far. We'll see if it works, but yeah, it's pretty easy to install, Nate. Yeah, we're gonna have a Linux Saloon who's gonna do the news stuff, discuss new Linux news, I guess. Okay. Nathan says OpenSUSE does take longer because it doesn't use a Squash FS system for expanding the operating system. Yeah, so yeah, it does take a little longer to install because it doesn't use Squash FS for installations, that kind of thing. But yeah, you just have to be patient, be a little longer, and OpenSUSE content. And a hi, Saran, how you doing? Just my installation from the installer, yeah. Yeah, if you went to the manual partitioning, you can do whatever you want, probably. Yeah. And we also have Steve. I don't know what Steve's got planned this coming Sunday. Should be there for Linux soon, probably Steve's too, at least first part of it, like normal. Gotta go to church at one point or another, but yeah. So installing 3,560 packages. It's got through 2,131 packages to install apparently. Or Snow. Trying to figure out how to read that. Installing packages. We're up to 35% on it. What you got going on, Steve? You got anything going on this week? Or Steve's might not be back from his taking the sun. I have to ask him when he comes back. So yeah, as far as Linux news goes in my world so far, I've got 2 more computers, but not ones I can mess with that well because I was made a church treasurer, which came with a computer with all the stuff on it, emails and all that kind of stuff. It's got Windows on it, of course, so that's what I got to use. Sravan asks, why is Plasma better on OpenSUSE? Nathan, typical Nate. And he says, yeah, you should be on the stream. I might post a link to this, but I'll probably have to get it together, see if I got it still. The OpenSUSE package is it nearly perfect. Perfectly. Where did my cursor go? That's the only thing about this barrier is you never know where cursor's at. There we are. Guess I'm on the other laptop now. So let's see if it. Nope, I don't have that in my paste spot thing anymore. Yeah, it's supposed to be OpenSUSE is supposed to be better. I mean, not OpenSUSE, but KDE is supposed to be better on rolling distros than non-rolling distros, just because the updates are more regular, that kind of thing. And so we'll see what version and I know that Debian Bullseye, I think, has 5.20 OpenSUSE on it, which is as one somebody mentioned last time or time before, or something like that, is a basically January of 2021 version. It isn't that long ago, but it is a little bit, not as long as the other guy was saying, but Michael or whoever the Katie person was on that saloon last time I was on. So yeah, so you get better, more updated AD packages with this than you would. Maybe not the most bleeding edge, but pretty edgy. At least you're standing on the edge. Maybe not the bleeding edge, but the edge. But yeah, I kind of like the little gecko thing with the light bulb they come on. Just look cute. Fedora does a great job of Plasma too, yeah. Because Fedora is another rolling release package, sort of similar to OpenSUSE, excuse me. OpenSUSE. So we got that cooking. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I can see it. Here is Zoom for anybody who wants to join me. Link. I had a What would you not call rolling? OpenSUSE, square tire. Yeah, you on here saying, tell me what you're thinking about, Nathan. Not sure I'm understanding you totally, but Fedora does a great job of plasma too. Yeah, you say Fedora isn't necessarily a rolling release, it's like square tire. Yeah, well, they say they're rolling release at least. Maybe a little bumpy on the rolling release part, but yeah, it's kind of like they do the same thing as far as not having updates on their. Well, they do updates. They do. I'm not sure exactly what it is exactly now you mention it. Yeah, Fedora. Yeah, it's sort of rolling release, but it's not really rolling release. Yeah, Fedora's not really rolling. Yeah, I thought of it rolling because it had more up-to-date software and it kept it more up-to-date, but it does have also uh, uh, snapshots, whatever you want to call it, that are more like Debian as far as, so it's not totally rolling release. I guess never heard. You have little releases that happen every so often, but they do it. OpenSUSE someway is more like static releases that are released almost daily. Semi-rolling is Fedora say semi-rolling. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, it's more like testing, I guess, Debian testing. So in that regard, yes, it's taking a little while to install. 75%. We're getting close. Installing packages now. Finished downloading them, and we didn't download all those packages, but installing them, and we'll be finished when it's ready to be finished. Arch truly real. Arch is a real rolling release, bleeding edge rolling release, and then you have your more, I guess, what do you call this? Now, it's interesting that peppermint, or Steve's there. You talk more about that, but peppermint's supposed to be not a rolling release. It's obviously not rolling because it's based on Debian, but they also not a static release either, in that they keep it updated. But thing, but I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see what happens when the first next bookworm, I think, is one. Well, it's finished with its installation and same settings stuff. So what happens when the bookworm comes out with how it goes. Not one until it's time. Yeah. So yeah, so they termed it something else. They didn't call it rolling. It's not really a rolling distro, but they termed it something else, which I've already completely forgotten now what that was. And Steve's not here to tell me what it was. Maybe one of y'all guys remember, but I don't remember. And okay, system reboot now. Okay, I'll reboot now. Yes, it's gonna do it anyway, no matter what I do it or not. Anyway, there we go. Let's see if it's gonna boot on the system. Yeah. Yeah, probably would take the clicking on that made my cursor disappear. Hello, cursor. There we are. Okay. So here devices, virtual drive. May crash and burn it, I don't know. There you go. Now it automatically jumps over to the actual command entry. Cool. It should boot from whatever, from hard drive. That would have done the same thing probably, but we got there one way or another. And then we'll probably see if we can change the thing that I haven't installed the thing on the I haven't installed Gas Edition, but rather have to install Gas Edition for us to expand out to full size. Okie dokie. Setting up, okay. Oh boy, this is OpenSUSE. Let's see, get software, plasma help, contribute, build OpenSUSE. The README, documentation. Okay. We'll close that. Get some support contributors. Information. This is the default wallpaper for OpenSUSE. And we'll go first and we'll see if we can do display on it. I think settings. It's got this kind of a switch sidebar view. You can switch from sidebar view to however you want it to look, but I kind of like this. It makes it simpler to look at, I think. This works. This what do you call it? This control panel type thing. Set a way of looking at it. A lot of those have to. Anyway, and display them on. Let's check see if we can switch it or not. And we will go with. There it is. And apply. Keep. Yeah, that's going to keep it. And like last week, where Titan OS had a little trouble keeping the thing with guest stations installed. That's good. So now we probably need to do an update, don't we? Yeah, let's do an update first, and we'll get the rest of the stuff before we get to looking at it much. So that's updates. Well, I'm not sure exactly how you do updates in the GUI part. You have to go to Discover or something like that, I'm sure. Which not. Oh yeah, that's right. Doesn't have a. It's not. It doesn't have a Control T set to it. Control T, Control Alt T. Doesn't open up the terminal until you set it that way. Actually, I set up a different way, but so you may let's see. See what I'm doing there. Better. Cancel out. Sudo. Open zipper. Is the one they have here, and we'll update. And it doesn't do updates, does it? Let's put it up. Nothing to do. All packages. Okay, we'll just try it anyway and see what we do. Nothing to do says so we'll do a sudo zipper dupe, I think is what it's called. Nothing to do, so we don't have anything to do. That's it. We don't have anything to do. No updates. Very recent package apparently. Then we pulled snapshot. And so we check out the wallpapers desktops. Yeah, out of the box on this part. So we got Honey Bunny Wave, OpenSUSE default, OpenSUSE default. But which is pretty easy. One of the things liked by Katie, it's pretty easy to get your wallpapers and stuff. You want to just get new wallpapers, and you go down here. Do a search. I like spacey things, so I put space in. Dude, that's wild, isn't it? And we got all different ones. You put nebulas, force nebula apparently. I guess what that is. Yeah, so let's just install this one. So you just click install. It works on it, installs it, and close. And there's Horsehead Nebula. Fly. There you go. Yeah, your Horsehead Nebula. Pretty spacey looking. Pretty nifty, huh? So that's how you can beautify it up that bit. You can choose whatever wallpaper you can download in that section. Pretty easy. You can even put some of your own wallpapers. You have like I have a when I load it up with my system up with my pictures and stuff. I have one folder called backgrounds that I usually have a selection of my pictures background. So that's kind of that. So you need to do super zoop doop. Yep, I did that. Don't use up. Did do that. I did. Yeah, no, I used up and then do. So I did both. Yeah, so now one of the things I'm wondering, Nathan, is on that. I mean, I know the first time used up, but I don't know if you use up. For those who may not know what dup and up is and difference between the two, up is upgrade. It's short for upgrade, so you can just type in upgrade if you want. But dup is DUP, which stands for distribution upgrade. So they prefer you do that first time, especially. I think you should change the plasma style to OpenSUSE FreezeDart. OpenSUSE FreezeDart. Okay. Have to get new style buttons. All right. We'll do that, Nathan. I think you mentioned that last time on another thing, but we couldn't get to it from there. But probably it's on OpenSUSE for sure. So move here. And so put some of the things you can put. You have to put settings there, but you can just put app. Let's see, application style. Default appearance. Maybe I can do that. Nathan gonna join me? Hi, Nathan. Can you hear me? I can't hear you so far. Howdy.
So I decided I would join you because, and make sure you have a good experience with
Yeah,
OpenSUSE.
yeah.
It looks like what are you using for your virtual machine?
Yeah, VirtualBox.
VirtualBox? So I think try putting it on scaled because I can't see the bottom menu bar.
Yeah, bottom, hold on a second. Make it full screen.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, make it full screen for get all the MX Linux stuff out of the way there.
So yeah, go to appearances.
Yeah.
And then go to plasma style. The second, it's the third one down on the right side, the left side. I mean, the plasma style. One up, and then get new plasma styles in the lower right hand corner. And then there, search OpenSUSE Breeze Dark.
Okay, I'm getting all sorts of things here. This right here,
The
I
very
assume
first one.
was your name on it?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Since I use, I just want to tick up the amount of people who've actually downloaded it. I'm going to close that and then go to your colors. Do the same thing, OpenSUSE Breeze Dark.
Okay.
Just for my own edification.
Yeah.
Look, there he is again.
Yeah. 1,937 downloads. One more added to the mix.
Excellent. I probably download about half of those, the different installs I've done. So there you go.
Yeah. Up here is about.
This is the style that I use for my desktop.
Yeah. Cool.
This is what it looks like.
Is there a certain wallpaper you tend to use too?
I use the default. I like that architectural engineering looking. It speaks to me. I've also done things like rotating wallpapers of different Star Trek things. So I'm a fan of the Star Trek. And so I like, this looks like the Nexus from Star Trek Generations there.
Right. Cool. Yeah, it's nice looking. Breeze. Yeah, so well, say anything, you said everything. Not wine until it's time, last name. So anyway, thanks Nathan for popping in and doing that. Directing me in my directions. And
Yeah, no problem.
you stick around with and watch or whatever.
Yep, I'll stick around. Yeah. I'm trying to get some late night tasks done while I can.
Alrighty. Will do. So put it in here. We gotta go console. And we'll make that bigger. That's really small.
I think it looks just so much better, with the dark theme. I tell you.
I like dark theme personally. You're using Linux kernel 5.17.7-1 default. It's pretty good, I think. Is this most recent kernel altogether, or is there another kernel after this one? Do you know?
It's generally not the most recent, because there's some things that have to be done before they kick it out. So yeah, it's not usually the very latest.
All right. There might be an 18 out there floating around somewhere. That's cool. And we got, let's see, HTOP. I don't know if that's installed by default. That's probably not. Most of them know. And NeoFetch. Nope, so we have to install both those. Which we sudo zipper. Whoops. Install. Or just short IN for short for those who don't know. I tend to use shortcuts. I tend to use shortcuts. So you can just type on install update all these things instead of using shortcuts there. If you wanted to. So neofetch. And we will do htop. Alright, launch packages are automatically selected. Language. Okay. Interesting. And you're installed and unpack those. But these I tend to always use terminal to do this and install stuff anyway. Alright, so got 804 megabytes out of 4 gigs of memory. Not bad. Yeah, one of the things about KD, I noticed it expands how much memory you have. So I've seen it down as on 4 gigs, I've seen it down to like 500 and some megabytes. But usually it's around 6 to 800 or somewhere around there. So,
I have a couple of 2 gigabyte machines that run Plasma,
yeah.
and they hang around between like 5 and 6 at a fresh install, but or fresh to say fresh, like just spinning it up. But I do
Yeah.
run a lot of other things in the background too.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty cool. But I mean, that and Cinnamon are the only two desktop I know that does that. It'll expand if you have more, but it'll also reduce down if you have less. That's pretty cool. So looks like they gave us 2 gigabytes of swap space too on our system. So, and neofetch. There's OpenSUSE. Tumbleweed, VirtualBox, 517 kernel. And
Doesn't that look just beautiful?
yeah, yeah, it's 2,141 RPM packages installed. So bash 5.1.16, Plasma 5.24.5. Guess it's one of the most recent plasmas, if not the most recent. But like you say, since they do testing on stuff, they don't just throw things out there, see if it hits the fan or not. but then we got Plasma Breeze, of course, installed on themes, icons, console, i5 11th generation Intel. I could install this on this laptop, and I did install it at one point. I had OpenSUSE installed on this laptop for a while. But then when I was using GNOME boxes for my virtual machine for my demonstration, that's when it crashed and burned. Didn't run it on that or Gecko, so I'm not sure if it's OpenSUSE issue or what, but I had to go to different distro in order to run GNOME box at that time. So that's why I finally went to, but I had another issue with it, so I finally went to VirtualBox, which I probably could run on this pretty easy.
No, it couldn't be OpenSUSE's fault. Can't be. So it's probably, my guess is probably a PEBCAC error.
Mm-hmm.
Problem exists between the keyboard and the chair.
Yeah.
See, I just did a poke at you.
So anyway, we got that cooking, and we'll do the alt F4. Yep, closes that out. So it does have some key bindings. Now go look to see what kind of packages it has in here. Got Kate for text editor for development. Actually, it's pretty good overall text editor for that kind of thing. Called advanced text editor.
Yeah, I think Kate's great.
Yeah. Education, LibreOffice Math, so it's got LibreOffice installed on here. Obviously, games, a few K-Mines, K-Patience, K-Reversi, K-Sudoku, all those good stuff. Graphics, you got WinView, which is your KD viewer, image viewer, LibreOffice Draw, Ocular, which views your PDFs and the like, and Scanlight, which does scanning, obviously. internet. We got Firefox. Aggregator. What does that actually do? Aggregator. You know, Nathan?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was the question? I missed it.
Yeah. Do you know what aggregator does? That one right there.
Yep, it's an RSS feed aggregator.
Oh, feed reader. I should just read the
Yep.
silly descriptions. So ask some questions. Firefox, mail client, Kmail, conversation, RC client, KTNF, which it says is a file viewer, proprietary format used by Outlook. Okay. And the PIM data exporter saves and restores all data from PIM apps. Sieve editor for filter Sieve scripts. And Tiger VNC viewer, which is a remote desktop viewer. VNC, obviously. It's on multimedia. They have VLC media player. Office, they got all this stuff. A lot of stuff. Some of it's other places. Like Kmail's up in the internet, I think. And address book, contact. This is a personal information manager, personal organizer, care organizer. And you got KTNF again, and LibreOffice Base, which is LibreOffice's database, and LibreOffice Calc spreadsheet, drawing program, Impress, which is the what's it called?
Like PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint is what I couldn't think of the name of it for some reason. Slipped my brain. LibreOffice Math, LibreOffice Course.
So, believe it or not, all the default applications, like productivity stuff that they bundle with OpenSUSE, I basically use all those. So I use Contacts, my personal information manager. I use it every day, all the time. It's what I use to pretty much manage my days. So it works pretty well.
Yeah, the first time I used Plasma, I tried to use it with the what do you call it? I can't remember. I think I tried to use Contact with Kmail or something like that, or maybe the address book or something like that. Anyway, it kind of went into this weird loop thing. Probably one of the earlier versions, Plasma, that didn't have very good uh, integration or something, or had problems or issues. So I've been scared to try it again.
Yeah, it could be. I will say that one thing I like about at least Kmail anyway is the when I went to set up the email, because I use private email for my primary email. Private email is the provider.
Mm-hmm.
I typed in what my email address is, which is at cubicle8.com, and it automatically pulled in all the information it needed, so I didn't have to do any additional work on my end. So when I set up like one of my newer systems, it was automatic, completely automatic, everything, and it was really easy. And funny enough, I used Elementary to test it out. That's about the time we we're testing Elementary on. I think it was Biddle at the time, and that was actually a lot more painful to set up because it didn't do anything automatically. So people give Kmail a really hard time, but it's more automated than at least what the Elementary's default.
Yeah, I know Chris. Well, Chris used Claws for a while. I don't know what he's using now, but on the forums. But I probably would have been enticed with it. I may try it again at some point. Because I got Katie over on Katie 5.20 over on this machine. I might do something weird like it's all OpenSUSE on this machine over here. See. So yeah, that. So yeah, now one thing I don't see on here is well, I haven't really got to move it down before I can see that word right. Or there it is. Ocular Sieve Editor. Settings. Yeah, your Wacom tablet finder. Helper tool to detect Wacom tablets. And yes, which is all the good fun stuff of that. System settings takes you to the screen we saw before. And your system things, which is your welcome screen, if you want to get back to that. Terminal super user mode. System monitor. A wallet manager. And console. Info center. And HTOP. File manager. Dolphin and Discover. And our archiving tool. So yeah, you got all these fun things to play with. Now Dolphin, I like Dolphin pretty well, but I like Nemo better. Just preferences. File manager. It's probably Dolphin with super user mode enabled. Because they had a problem, didn't they, with the Dolphin not being able to go to root very easily with it, but now you can.
Yeah, OpenSUSE never lost that.
Really?
No.
Always been able to do that.
No, OpenSUSE never lost that. So that was some. I think if you use Dolphin on OpenSUSE, you probably have a better experience because if you need to go super user, it's very easy.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, it shows you all the versions, 5.24 and 5.94 on the frameworks, 80 version.
I think you're more updated than I am right now.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you just installed it, so.
Graphics platform X11 out of the box. Now, I think you can use KDE. Does it have KDE in there? Have the Wayland support yet?
They do have Wayland. Yep, they had Wayland for a while. I just can't use it for regular usage because it doesn't work well with. It doesn't work with QSynergy or Barium. Barrier. Anyway, QSynergy is what I use. It doesn't work with that, so I can't use it.
Yeah, that's why I hear Barrier.
So Neil, Neil from Destination Linux Network or Text Digital Network now. He said there is a fix for it. It's coming very, very, very soon. So once that fix is in, I'll be on Wayland full time. Pretty much everything has been worked out as far as what I need for Wayland. There's some issues with the Aquake last time I tried it. I should probably file a bug against it or something. I use like the drop down terminal. I use that all the time. I think it's great. I just hit F12 and it drops down, and then I can type some stuff in real quick. So I prefer that for some functions. But last time I used Wayland, it wouldn't keep above the other windows like I would expect, and it just had some weirdness to it.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, well, I've tried Wayland a time or two, even on using OBS is a little problematic, but I'm kind of afraid now that I all set up correctly, I'm afraid to use it because then I have to change things around again. Anyway.
Yeah, it's totally understandable. I have OBS set up in such a way that I'm very happy with it. So I don't want to muck around with it again.
Right. Yeah, now the pop art works pretty good, I think, on OBS, but Wayland, you have to do an extra step you don't normally have to do, I think, still. At least you used to. I don't know if you still do or not, but. So you can get more detailed information by going to devices and device viewer, CPU interrupts or PCI, mark status, and USB devices. Also graphics, OpenGL, and OpenGLX, Vulkan, and X server. And you go to your network interface to Samba says. Now the cool thing about this is Yoast, I think. So
for sure.
We'll go here and check that real quick. You can do updates through Yoast, or you can install software through Yoast. You can also do a lot of other things I'm not really aware of through Yoast. Apparently. They're right there. Now, action requesting any root privileges. We'll give it to it, and Yeah, this is like the OER system software repositories. You can choose which one to use, that kind of thing. Software management, online updates, checking available updates, crashing repositories in the process. And then finally, apparently no patches, no nothing to put in. You had some of these, you hit accept down here. And I think that'll be pretty much it. There's another screen or two, I think you go from there. But otherwise, it's pretty sweet. Installation summary. Show what you've done, packages, what you installed. And all that, that's installation summary. So, I'm not sure exactly how this works, but refresh this maybe. Languages, repository, search. You want to install a package, let's say I want to install Kitty on here. My favorite kitty, Hyper Kitty. There's so rare kitty on there. Like that. That. And then it gives this screen where you just can install this extra package. Dependency needs. Continue. And it's going kitty, 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 here, kitty, kitty. And done. And I should be down here in the list of, maybe I have to refresh with the logging out or something like that, probably. Restarting.
Now just type in kitty.
Kitty. Yeah, well, yeah, just was thinking maybe it's in the menu already.
Yep, yeah, just type in kitty because you're on your favorites.
Yeah. Oh, you mean on there? Yeah, right. So anyway, there's Kitty operating under console. So you can do that too, but not probably preferred. Of course, I have a configuration file I usually try to import for that kind of thing.
You should be able to just go into your menu, just type in kitty, and it'll pop up.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you spell it correctly, you know.
Yeah, it helps if you spell correctly. So yeah, there's Kitty. Default Kitty, I usually put a cobalt blue background on my terminals and increase font size so it comes up bigger automatically rather than have to hit that all the time. So yeah, there's other things, you got all sorts of things on here. You can change your host name apparently. Samba server, bigger Samba server settings. All sorts of stuff in here. You can do firewall settings. Security center. User group management. You can change your user groups. A lot of stuff you can do under Yoast. Now they do have the option where you can where you have add-on products you can go specifically to, or alternatives, AppArmor, Yoast Bootloader, Yoast Date and Time, Yoast File System Snapshots, Firewall, Hostname, all stuff you saw when we just typed in Yoast. Their software, you put in Yoast software going to. You go and just goes right to the software part of it. So if you're confused by all that, which it is a little overwhelming at first, but yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. Powerful tool, actually. You update, you can install, you can do all sorts of stuff through it. That's Yoast. Yeah, I'll leave that for y'all to explore more in depth on that. It says, Larry asked you, Nathan, if does Yoast not follow themes? He's on the dark theme, but Yoast wasn't following the theme apparently. If Nathan's still there.
So it does follow a theme, but it follows the root user theme.
Okay. Yeah, that's a root user. Change that, you'd have to go to root and you'd have to change the theme there probably, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Assuming you can change themes to root.
You sure can, because I have.
Okay. So there's your answer, Nathan. I mean, Larry. Yeah. Steve said have to go pick up some things for the review on the amateur system. You're welcome, Steve. I heard Nathan drop something and you said amateur system.
Yep. Well, I didn't mean to drop something.
Yep. So Steve's a crack up. See.
I don't think Steve has actually tried OpenSUSE yet. I'm not sure why. He's been on Linux for a long time, yet he just hasn't quite grown up yet, I guess.
I guess
He's still a little wet behind the ears, or is it green? Or maybe wet and green behind the ears.
all right. So let's see what else we can show off on this. I guess we got pretty much most of it covered. And can't think of anything else off the top of my head. We showed Yoast and what it had installed and what kernel it has, all that stuff. So I guess we got it covered.
The big strength of OpenSUSE is not so much the flash and the excitement, the default softwares. It's more I would say it's not the day one experience. It's the day 100 experience.
Yeah.
That's really important because it doesn't degrade over time.
Right. Yeah, I've been impressed with OpenSUSE actually for the times I've installed it. Seems to pick up my settings and everything pretty easy. Now XFC, I installed with XFC first time I used it. Any real strong way on this machine here, this framework, and got it to work, but I had to learn a few things about how to set up XFCE so the bar appeared where I wanted to and all that kind of stuff. It was one of the few. This and Katie's one of the few desktop settings that have the scaling, fractional scaling. You can put in pretty much any scale you want on XFCE at least. So it worked pretty good. As far as matching up with my 1080 monitor up there. But now I just have 1080 on both my laptops over there, and I have this all by itself.
I've done the fractional scaling. I think it's fractional scaling on Wayland, but that doesn't work on X so much, like multi-monitor, so you can adjust the monitors. Works great in Wayland though. Works absolutely fantastic.
Really interesting though. Yeah, so we got that, and XFC I think is a good desktop. Pretty much, it's very flexible. Most people don't realize how developed it is, I think. But
I think today, as far as GTK desktops, I think XFC is probably the best one.
Yeah, it's also the default desktop to a lot of distros out there. Seems like a lot of distros have XFC option in there somewhere, except for the ones that use KDE only, and that's about the only ones I've seen. Like some Arch-based ones, the gaming desktops, like Can't think of the name of it for some reason. Anyway, yeah, one of those distros. There's several KDE only distros out there, but other than that, most everybody has an XFC version if they have anything at all. So, I don't know, Manjaro, I think KXFC is kind of like the default distribution. When they featured, something like that, Manjaro. So,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you on that.
yeah. So, anyway, I guess this is it. This is actually 7:20, so we've been at it for about an hour and almost 30 minutes.
Well, the important thing is you installed what I think is the best theme, or plasma style and color scheme. So
yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I like it actually. It's pretty cool.
You can install it on Fedora or anything. In fact, you install it on Fedora, then you'll get the OpenSUSE,
But you have to
logo in the
type an
corner for the menu.
OpenSUSE in order to get it, huh?
No, you can do it in any Plasma desktop.
Well, I mean, you have to type in OpenSUSE to search for
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
OpenSUSE
OpenSUSE
Dark
Breeze Dark.
Breeze
Maybe you
Dark.
can search by cubicle name, but I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Yeah. Okay. There's no problem, people out there. So it's Fedora and OpenSUSE the only distribution you can get that on?
Get what?
Your theme?
No, any Plasma, any Plasma desktop.
Okay. Cool.
Manjaro Arch can be on.
I've tried on
I
this machine
suppose you
over
could probably
here.
even do it on the Steam Deck if you get one of
Yeah.
those, because it does have a Plasma desktop. You could probably do it there too.
Yeah.
I don't have
Cool.
mine yet. I'm still waiting for it to waiting for my email. It's supposed to be Q2. They're running out of weeks here.
Yeah. So you got your hand on pre-ordered one
Yeah, I pre-ordered it last July,
last July.
or reserved, I should say, last July. Yeah,
Yeah, still waiting for it, huh?
impatiently, yes. I mean, patiently.
Patiently. That's cool. I guess you'll do a video on it when you finally get it, huh?
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I've not been doing a whole lot in the realm of videos
Yeah.
lately because I've been burdened down. It's on my
Right.
task list to finish my next video. I just haven't been able to I don't know, gather the time.
Yeah. Yeah, doing a video and editing it takes a while.
It does.
That's one of the reasons I do this, because then I can just live stream and everybody expects there to be lags and stuff. I edit a little bit, in post-production after it's gone through the 2 hour window on YouTube where it won't create a new video out of it, but yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I did that last video I took. I spent all day just editing the thing, seemed like. And I forgot to put a couple of issues, the subscribe button floater. I forgot to put that in there though.
Yeah, I edit the Linux Saloon, the live stream, and I condense it down and I put it on the Linux Saloon channel. And that
Right.
usually takes me about an hour to edit. I go through pretty quickly on that one, but it's still an hour or two of just taking time to edit it out.
Yeah. Servan says over there, I don't know about OpenSUSE, but I prefer Mate to XFCE. Yeah, I've tried Mate out a time or two. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Mate is great.
I was impressed with it actually, more so than I thought I'd be. Yeah, because I know, like Cinnamon was the one that I was introduced to Cinnamon on, and obviously, and Linux Mint, and it also has a Mate version of it. And I was wondering why they had a Mate version when Mate is so similar to Cinnamon. But it's a lighter distro, I guess, for that purpose. So that's probably why they had that in XFC. Yeah. Mate's a
I
good.
think I
Yeah.
think Mate is pretty great. I would say in the order of GTK based desktops right now. Like if I were to ask you, if you ask me today, I think XFC would be my favorite. I think probably, probably Mate would be second. Like full feature desktops.
Yeah.
Probably Budgie after that, but Budgie and Mate are pretty close. I like how Budgie does certain things more than Mate, but I think
Right.
I just happen to like Mate more than Budgie at this point.
Hmm.
And are there any other desktops that are GTA based? I think.
Is Elementary at all
Oh, there's Elementary, but yeah, Pantheon.
in
Yeah,
Pantheon?
Pantheon. Yeah, Pantheon's
Yeah.
good. It's a pretty good in OpenSUSE as well. There's if you want a good Pantheon experience, you just use Gecko Linux. They have a
Yeah.
great Pantheon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to
And
think of what other.
then there's another one. I can't remember Zorin or Farron uses. Farron
Aaron uses
uses
Plasma.
I think Farron uses a version of KD, right?
Yep, uses Plasma.
And Open Zorin probably uses
Oh,
GTK.
also, can't forget Cinnamon. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again. So I'd say XFCE would be number one, probably Mate number two. Then I'd probably go with Budgie, and then Cinnamon, probably next, and probably Pantheon after that, and then probably coming in last place, like far, like a clear last place would be Gnome.
Is ain't Steve not here anymore?
So
yeah,
there's no minimize button on Gnome, and that's just dumb, just bad. It's just bad UI design.
yeah. Yeah, and you have to click through more clicks to get to where you want to go and stuff like that, seemed like to me. Of course, I'll install. Now, they have a decent search function on there for pulling up programs that are there, but you don't know what you don't know. So if you have a program on there that would be helpful for you, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, the whisker menu in XFCE is just as good as any others of the GTK apps.
Right.
And I mean, Plasma's got a really good one.
Yeah.
So.
But aside from GTK, I guess Plasma would be your primary first choice.
Oh yeah, Plasma's my clear first choice. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I understand what people like the others. I mean, if it suits them, it suits them. I don't like the. I don't know. To me, it feels too constrained. I don't like feeling constrained. So I think Plasma, I just feel free with it. I like that. The freedom to just kind of make it my own.
Right.
Add all the little nonsense that I prefer, and things like that.
Gotcha. So let's see, now to close this out, we'll go down here, shut down. Down. And it's shut down. Yeah, stop screen sharing. There you go. So that was no, back up a minute second. That was Plasma on OpenSUSE. OpenSUSE, stable OpenSUSE. And yeah, it's pretty good. I was actually on the I got some help on the forums a bit, but not a lot. I was on there one time asking stupid XFC questions. I think one or two people tried to help me out, but I had to figure it out myself pretty much. Of course, you weren't there to help me out, so.
Well, you didn't ask.
Yeah, well, I was asking on the forum is where I was asking.
Oh, okay. What was the question? What were you trying to figure out?
Well, at the time I was trying to figure out how XFC, it has the bars. It was when I had this framework connected to the monitor up there. the 1080 monitor up there. I had to use XFC because I had fractional scaling. I could get it to somewhat match up pretty well. So, but the bar kept moving up to the top screen, or on the bottom screen right in the middle. Like I have it here, set up here. This is my MX Linux thing. I had it set up on top. That way it'd be midway between whether it was up on top screen or bottom screen, it'd be midway. But it kept putting it up on the top of the top screen. So every time I rebooted, it would change it, and I'd figure out how to do it. And how I figured out to do it was, you gotta do this. You gotta set it, get it to go up here to edit it, and no preferences. First you had to lock, you had to unlock it, and you had to move it to where you wanted it. It was a little moving thing, so you move it right here. And drag it around where we want it, like that. And then when you get in the spot where you wanted it, then see, who else knows how to do this? So I think you want to edit it somehow. And it somehow, you're right, I think. But I think I remember how to do it, yeah. Your panel. No. I don't remember exactly. Maybe you got the spot where, oh, I know, it was in the XFC. Said had to go to and go down here. Customize panel, same place. Here's a spot. I don't remember exactly where it's at, but I have to search for it for a while. Figure out where it's at. There's a spot where you could set it so you could save the panel. Then you would tell it, you give it a name. Then you click on the two things. It's always use that setting for as if it is new. And then it would activate then it would keep everything where it's supposed to be. On that part of it, that was one issue I had. The other issue I had was related to anyway, I had other issue, covered another minor issue like that. And I figured those out, how to fix those so that stay put, everything came up the way you wanted it. So, but for a while I was having to hit fractional every time I rebooted. I have to go in there and reset the fractional scaling on there. This is part of the issue on that.
And that would be annoying for sure.
Yeah. So I figured out how to set those so they come up the right way every time. It was on the display, that's where it was. Display function, that's right. Yeah, so yeah. So I had to go over here to advanced. And profiles match current connect displays. And I don't think I had to do this in MX Linux so much. I don't know why, but well, I've never used this on two monitors with the MX Linux, so that's probably why. But anyway, I had to turn this on and this on and give it a name up here, which you can do by create a new display profile. Give it a name and then hit apply, and then it saves whatever you have set in there. Then you can just hit this configure new display when connected. automatically enable profiles when this display is connected. And it worked. Saved everything and it came up the same time. Same way every reboot. Kind of non-intuitive because it's not really new settings, but worked. So yeah. Well, I guess that'll
Well, if
be
it works,
it.
that's huge.
Huh?
If it works, that's huge. That's really what matters. As long as it
Right.
works.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll call it a night. Larry says, before I go on, it says, I don't like how GNOME handles desktop layouts. It puts something on desktop 3. It should stay on desktop 3. That's some issue with it that you had in the past?
I personally, that wasn't my issue mostly. My issue was just uh, the default setup, the fact I had to use GNOME tweaks just to find the things that I needed to make the desktop to my liking.
Yeah.
Then I didn't know about GNOME tweaks initially, so it was like uh, it was like a journey in and of itself just to be able to use GNOME, you know, and like the settings in GNOME are just such a mess. The fact that you have to go like to GNOME tweaks for some things, you go to the main GNOME settings for other things. It's just to me, it's just such a I don't know, just such a mess. You can't like go to one spot, search for what you want, and then get on with doing things. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I know that Pop! OS is the other one we forgot to mention that also uses GTK for
Well, it's
now.
GNOME. Yeah, it's GNOME.
Yeah, for now.
They use
So
GNOME, so they're going to use something else later.
Rust. Yeah, for some reason Rust. Yeah, that's GTK one. And actually, I like what they've done with it pretty much.
Yeah, I think Pop is a good expression of GNOME.
Yeah. So anyway, if nobody else has anything, I guess we'll call it a night.
Okay, night.
Yeah. So everybody out there in the YouTube land, thanks Larry, Savan, and Steve.
No, I
Well,
don't
he
think
was
Steve.
here. Yeah, he's not here now, but he was here, and he obviously Nathan for showing up and coming on and guiding me through this, finding his themes and stuff of that nature, answering a few basic questions. And let's see, we had Ed on here for a while. I don't know if he's still here, but he was on. Thanks everybody for showing up, and we will see y'all guys later. Remember,
Well, you
man,
have yourself a.
yeah, what?
Oh, I totally interrupted you. I said, well, thanks for letting me hang out with you. It was fun, and hopefully I can pop on again sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you're welcome. And let's see. Also, I need subscribe. Okay, I never mentioned it on this on live shows. But yeah, you can subscribe, hit subscribe button if you haven't already, and also like button. And thanks for all your conversations in the chat and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. May the Linux Force be with you. Bye.
See you.
Yeah.